Hey, this is Melody with Deliberate Receiving, where the law of attraction finally makes some freaking sense. Today's burning question comes from Dani. Awesome Dani wants to know, is it possible to not know what you want? Sometimes I feel like I know what I want, and other times I just don't. For example, sometimes I smile when I imagine being happily married, and other times the idea of marriage makes me feel trapped. Sometimes I think I want the feeling of freedom, but other times I feel like saying, I want to be free isn't specific enough, or it's not exactly what I want. Also, I can't decide if I want to go to university or just find a good job in my country. I don't feel inspired to any action. How do I know what I want, or should I just focus on feeling good? Well, awesome, Dani, you kind of answered your own question in a general way. Yes, you should just focus on feeling good. That will start to line things up. But I'm guessing that you've done quite a bit of that, and now it's brought up a few issues that need to be cleaned up. So let's talk our way through them for just a moment. As you start to feel good, it's easy to think, I'm just going to feel good and then I'll be inspired to action. And all of us law of attraction teachers, we tend to be guilty of saying that, but that's sort of the really short version. The path is rarely ever that straight. Usually what happens is we start to raise our vibration and then issues come up that need to be cleaned up. And that's going to happen before you're ever inspired to any action. Action comes at the end of this progression, not immediately. The first thing that happens is your emotions come up, then thoughts, memories, and ideas come in, then synchronicities come in, and then physical manifestations, including actions, come in. So you're a little bit far away from action at this point, which is why you don't feel inspired to actually do anything. So when you're focusing on the idea of being married, if you go and feel good, raise your vibration, doing whatever activity you want, go play with a puppy, go watch a funny movie, go for a walk in nature, for example, get yourself feeling good, and then point yourself towards the direction of marriage, for example, visualize marriage. Now you're noticing that a lot of times it feels really, really good when you feel like you're happily married, but then something happens that brings in this feeling of being trapped. It might not happen every time, but it happens. It's come up and it wants to be looked at. So there's some assumption or some fear that you have about getting married that says, I'm going to be trapped. So for example, you might visualize yourself getting married, and then you notice a situation as you just give your mind free rein, as you give your vibration free rein to create this visualization, because that's what's happening when you do that. You might notice that your husband is kind of controlling, or maybe kind of judgy. And maybe you love to dance, for example, and he doesn't really like to dance, and so you want to go dancing with your girlfriends, but he doesn't really want you to because he doesn't trust you or he doesn't think that's right. That would make you feel trapped. So then you want to change that and say, either I'm going to visualize deliberately now, not giving it free rein anymore, deliberately visualize myself being with somebody who has no problem with me going out with my girlfriends for a night of dancing. He trusts me, has no problem with that. And in fact, he has his own life where he gets to do fun things with his buddies. We don't have to be joined at the hip 24/7. Or you might want to also see him going out dancing with you because he loves to dance. But you want to take that controlling feature out that's making you feel trapped. Now, these are just examples. You have to figure out what's coming up for you as you sit with that feeling of being trapped. Don't just try to go away from it. Don't just try to push it to the side. Let it come up and engage with it. It's come up for a reason, and probably as a result of all the work that you've been doing successfully. As far as going to university or not, that's not a decision that you need to make. And it's certainly not a decision that you need to make with pure logic. What you want to do is you want to, again, go and get yourself into a higher vibration. Approach all of this work always by first getting yourself into a higher vibration, going and getting yourself into a better feeling space. And then imagine going to university and see how that actually feels. Does it feel really good to you? Does it feel exciting? Does it feel like an adventure? Or does it feel like something that you feel like you should do, or feel like you have to do, feel like other people have told you to do, but that you don't really want to do? Is it something that you're trying to force yourself to do? So the only way that you'll know that is by sitting with the idea of going to university and seeing what that feels like, and then working through those emotions. And do the same thing with getting a job. So you might notice that the idea of getting a job feels way better than going to university because you're not forcing yourself to do something that you don't want to do, but it doesn't feel really good because there's still some ideas, some assumptions in there that you're not going to be able to get a good job, or you're going to have a crappy job, or they're not going to pay you very well, or it's going to be too far away, or whatever. Yeah. Now, that's something that you can clean up with this visualization technique, where you then determine what you want instead of the things that you're afraid of. You can get a great job that can pay you well. It'll be something exciting, something creative, something that makes your heart sing. But in that case, what you're doing is you're cleaning up a situation that you want to manifest, but that you have some fears about, instead of trying to clean up something that you're trying to force yourself to do but don't really want to do. And there's a huge difference between the two. If you get stuck, whenever you're in doubt, take a step back, go do something that lets you feel really, really good. More clarity will come. But as you're doing this work, as you're feeling better and better, these issues will come up. And you don't want to try to make a decision, and you certainly don't want to try to take action at that stage. You want to feel your way through them, because as you do, it will become clear pretty quickly which option actually feels better. Now, if you've cleaned up both options and you figure out that they both kind of feel the same, they both feel really clean, they both feel really exciting, you don't know which one feels better, then it really doesn't matter which one you choose. Just choose one, flip a coin if you have to, it doesn't really matter, and then dedicate yourself fully to it. Don't second guess it, don't doubt it, say this is the choice I'm going with, this is what I'm choosing, but it doesn't really matter because both felt the same. There's no way that you can do that though until you've sat with both options and felt your way through them and figured out what's really going on. If you think this content was helpful, please consider sharing it with somebody who will also find it beneficial. And if you'd like to join the discussion on this topic, then leave a comment or come over and join us at deliberatereceiving.com, where all the best action takes place. You can also join the Happy Shiny Puppy Army and get lots and lots of free goodies. For today, I'm sending you guys happy shiny puppy hugs. I will see you next time. Bye.